Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So today I'm going to be actually doing this. I'm going to be um, continuing with the verses with the Gita reading, which I had found, which had stopped for 2.5 months almost. And I'm finding myself having all kinds of feelings and emotions right now. The first emotion is I want to justify. Like, I know that I've not done this for 2.5 months, but I've had a lot of spiritual progress, and this is the evidence of the spiritual progress that I've had. And I've not just been wasting my time, and I've not just been, I want to defend and I want to become defensive, and I know that I don't need to. I mean, it's okay. I am where I am, and it doesn't matter whether I have made progress or not. And it's impossible to quantify. I don't know how to, quantify or whatever. I mean, I don't know whether God knows, Krishna knows if I've made progress or not. Um, but yes, and then the other thing is I'm wanting to say that I want to continue to make sure that I do this every day now again, and I want to not stop. And um, so when I had spoken with Raj Bihari Prabhu, who had come here about where I was still doing these videos at that time, so I have some videos where I spoke about him. I was completely blown away by him. He was very good. He spoke to me really well, and I had a one-on-one conversation with him as well, where he said that even if I'm having trouble understanding or accepting 100% what Prabhupada is saying or understanding 100% what scriptures are saying, he had said, don't give up. Like, don't, just keep studying, keep learning, and just keep going on this path. So I have been listening to lectures, and yeah, see, there's my justification coming in again. Um, and the last few weeks I've been doing more kirtan because I was in a big cleanup project in my house, about 3-4 weeks long cleanup project, which is now over, thankfully, and it's made a huge world of a difference. So I think now I feel like I'm a lot more in mode of goodness, because I mean, my room was such a mess. It was difficult to walk because there was so much junk on the floor, and now the room is empty almost. Like, I've given away just a ton of things, and um, so I feel like I'm more in mode of goodness, and I'm more able to, I want to create an altar in my room, a proper altar in my room, and I'm more able to now to now focus on God, because I'm not feeling guilty every second that I'm, completely messy. Um, so yes, yeah, just a bunch of different things have happened, I guess. So I don't know, I don't want to make any commitments. My only commitment is that I want to do this, all the 700 verses in my lifetime, it's if I live, for however long I live. So I want to do this, and I am continuing to keep that commitment. I'm not committing to doing this every day again, or even like, I don't know how it'll go, and I am allowing myself to be wherever I am, as slow or fast as I want to be. I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm going with the flow. The biggest one of the sentences that I learned recently from my personal growth journey is that one of the most powerful, the highest frequency on this planet is the frequency of truth. So I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to pretend that I am where I'm not, or any such thing. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to maintain that frequency of truth. Okay, so the previous verse, I'm just going to continue. I'm going to I think this is where I stopped, and this makes sense about why I stopped where I stopped, is because the translation here says the ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. It's just so brutal. Like, I did doubt the scriptures, so I will not attain God consciousness. So what's the point of continuing, right? And Swami Mukundanand did not make it like that. He had 3 different stages, which made it so much easier for me, because he said there's a stage where do have the knowledge of the scriptures and faith. The second stage is you do not have the knowledge, but you have faith, which is where I was, as well as am. And the third stage, you neither have knowledge nor faith, and that one is harder, right? So I do have faith. I have faith in Krishna consciousness. But here it's just, Prabhupada is just so brutal about things in general. My goodness, he's just so harsh and so brutal, especially when it comes to women. But like, my goodness, even here, he's saying people who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. I mean, it's just it's just like, it feels like a curse almost. It feels like a curse. If you do not believe this, If you do not follow this, it's like, the Christians say, if you do not believe in Jesus, you're going to burn in hell for eternity. Like, this is how it feels like to me. Just very, you do not believe it, 100. If you doubt at all, then you do not attain God consciousness. It's just so harsh. So anyways, so what I have decided, yeah, it's making, yeah, what I've decided is that I'm going to not believe in this as the translation, because I am going to continue on my path. I am not going to be able to build the Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, whatever, overnight. It's not going to happen, and I don't know whether I am going to get to a place where I completely 100% agree with the scriptures or believe the scriptures, right? I don't know that, but I am not going to stop my studies of it and keep trying to figure out what the truth is, because that's one of the things that I pray for. Please, 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 Krishna, show me absolute truth, tell me absolute truth. So yes, I'm going to continue to do that. And I've had these curses even from other people. If you do not believe in Prabhupada 100%, because he's in the lineage, you will never attain God consciousness. Like, just that, it feels like total curse, right? I mean, I don't want to. Okay. So I do not believe that God works that way. I do not believe that Krishna works that way. And I know this is supposedly what Krishna has said, but I don't think Krishna said it in this way that it has been written. And Swami Mukundanand, in his thing, let me go to his translation, and because his purport was nice. But persons who possess neither faith nor knowledge, who are of doubting nature, suffer a downfall. See, this is so much, much kinder, so much, much, much kinder. People who possess neither faith nor knowledge. So I have faith, right? But even if I didn't have faith earlier when I was an atheist, suffer a downfall. Yes, will never attain God consciousness is what he's written here. Do not attain God consciousness, basically. And here, suffer a downfall is so much kinder. For the skeptical souls, there is no happiness either in this world or the next. Yeah, sure. I mean, I can understand that. If you're skeptical, then if you're skeptical, you'll not feel peace. You'll not feel happy. When you have faith in God, that God, Krishna is taking care of you, then you will feel peace. So yes, okay. So I I am reclaiming my Bhagavad Gita studies, and I'm understanding that Prabhupada's translations are not the only translations that that are absolute truth. There are things about Prabhupada that are amazing, and definitely there are things about Prabhupada that are very harsh also. And I don't want to knock myself off of the path to Krishna consciousness, because I don't have 100% faith in the scriptures or in Prabhupada or whatever. Okay. Okay, so let's do chapter 4, verse 41. I know this was a long intro or entry back to this process, but I felt like I needed to explain, or I don't know, just talk about the break that I've had. Okay, this one is a much kinder verse in general. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna sanshayam atmavantam na karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya. Okay. The translation is one who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge. This is kind, right? You keep learning and eventually your doubts are destroyed. This is much kinder. Is situated factually in the self, thus he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. Okay, so let's do word by word. Yoga, devotional service and karma yoga. Sannyas, the one who is renounced, sannyas, renunciation. Karmanam, fruits of his action. Karma is work, actions, or so karmanam, fruits of his actions. So, one who has renounced the fruits of his actions by devotional service and karma yoga. In karma yoga, he's talking about karma yoga here. We're still talking about karma yoga. Jnana sanchinna sanshayam. Jnana by knowledge. Cut sanchinna, cut. Chinna kar dena, like it's like cut. Sanshayam, doubts. So, by knowledge, when the person who cuts his doubts. Okay, so one who has renounced the fruits of his actions by devotional service through karma yoga, and who has cut his doubts by knowledge. Atmavantam na karmanam. Atmavantam is that person is situated in the self. And na karmani, never works do by nibadhanti, nibadhanti, so never is bound by work. Okay, never is bound by the actions of work, O conqueror of riches, O Dhananjaya. Okay. Um, so one who follows the instructions. Okay, I'm going to read this commentary. Swami Mukundanand. O Arjun, actions do not bind those who have renounced karm in the fire of yoga. So he's in their yoga. Of course, Prabhupada always translates yoga as devotional service, and here he's just saying yoga, the fire of yoga. So actions do not bind those who have renounced karma in the fire of yoga. It's slightly different meaning. Whose doubts have been dispelled by knowledge, and that part's the same, and who are situated in the knowledge of the self. Dhananjaya means conqueror of wealth. So he said, O Arjun, O conqueror of wealth. So those who renounced the ritualistic karma, yoga sanshaya karmanam, so basically renounced basically the fruits of their actions to God. So karma is unite with. Okay, so yoga means unite with God. Sannyas means renounce. Those who renounced all ritualistic karma, dedicating their body, mind, and soul to God. Such persons do every action as a service to God. This is karma yoga, right? This is Sri Krishna says that their work performed in devotion do not bind them. So anything that we do for our own benefit, if we're doing it, oh, this is difficult, but so powerful. Anything that we're doing for ourselves, we will get sinful reactions from it. We will get karma from it, either good karma or bad karma. We will get, but we will get karma which will bind us on this planet. So if we're doing everything that we're doing for God, then we do not get bound. This is so powerful. I'm feeling this. Okay. I'm glad that I'm reading this verse. Okay. Only those actions bind one in karma which are performed to fulfill one's self-interest. When work is done for the pleasure of God, such action becomes free from all karmic reaction. Okay. So it's like multiplying. I like this example. Multiplying the numbers with 0. If we multiply anything with 0, it'll be 0. But if we multiply 1 with whatever or anything else with whatever, then it'll create karma. So when we are in 0 ourselves, when we are doing everything for the pleasure of God, everything, then um, yeah, then we're not bound by sinful reaction. So I attended a Bhagavad Gita class yesterday, which I've been attending regularly, which has been amazing. So one of the things, the questions, the things that were that if we are, like, for example, killing a human being or an animal or whatever, we're going to be bound by sinful reactions. So my question was, if we're killing plants, are we bound by sinful reactions as well? So the answer was yes, we are bound by sinful reactions even when we're killing plants, except, so God has provided for us to be able to live, right? He wants us to live. He's provided this perfect synergy and harmonious place for us to survive. And so we are able to release the sinful reactions if we're eating vegetarian food, not when we're eating meat. Even like that will not work. But if we're eating vegetarian food and we offer it to God first, then we do not incur sinful reactions for that food. That's how we release ourselves from the sinful reactions of eating. Otherwise, even when we're eating, we are incurring sinful reactions from killing the plants. Wow, okay. So that was also powerful. Okay. So that is it for today, chapter 4, verse 41. We will do chapter 4, verse 42 in the next video. Wish you all a day filled with spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.